Okay, so Arsenal have lost 4-2 to Forest. The result came in a couple of hours ago. I've been out in an ice hockey match, so I obviously couldn't watch it or keep track of it. But it was 1-1 when I left my house, and I was listening on 5 Live whilst doing some video editing. I got to my local ice rink. We got our tickets sorted out. Got our seats, good seats this time. And end of the first period of play, first break in play, I thought I'll quickly check the results, and literally came up 4-2. Arsenal had lost, and they were soundly beaten. Nottingham Forest ended with 10 men. I do know that. There was some kind I will be watching the highlights later on Match of the Day. But very few experienced players on the pitch for Arsenal. Their squad players this is the issue with Arsenal. Their squad depth is weak. A couple of injuries, they've got problems. A few suspensions, they've got issues. Their squad depth is not there. The players he selected do not have the experience at a high level yet. They're good for the reserves, good for the youth teams. When it comes to first team, it's the same with West Ham today. West Ham's bench had 6 first team appearances between them. The team they selected was poor. Arsenal and West Ham could be guilty of not respecting this competition. I understand the fixture congestion. I'm not using that as an excuse though, because Championship, League 1, League 2 sides also have the same fixture congestion, because they play in the FA Trophy, the League Cup and the FA Cup as well, and they have to play the earlier rounds of the FA Cup as well. So if a lower league side gets this far, they've already played a lot of extra games themselves, so that excuse can go out the window. The lower league teams seem to have respected the cup more. I don't know what's the biggest shock, Stoke's defeat Coventry or this defeat Forest for Arsenal. Stoke's defeat was a heavy one though, because the gap between the sides is so much bigger. Forest are a mid-table Championship side. They're not completely out of the playoff race. They're not out of relegation danger either, because they're in the middle. And the Championship, a couple of bad results, you sink. A couple of results, you go up. So, but at the moment they're mid-table. Their record is average. This result will give them confidence. They respected the competition today. Arsenal didn't. I left the house when Mertesacker equalised, so at least Per Mertesacker was showing some effort there. But his turning circles out of a barge. He's lost a step. He's not as young as he was. He's a good player. He needs another centre-back partner who's quick and experienced, and they don't have that. Ospina's in goal, so you can't really blame Ospina because he's a reasonably experienced goalkeeper. I think Walcott was playing. Apart from that, the average first team appearances was low. The squad depth is not there. There are issues for Arsenal. This is not a shock for me. I wouldn't class this as a shock. I would class this as poor squad management by Wenger. Knowing that he's going into the third round, which means you pencil this off third round, that we are playing a game. We know we're playing a game. It doesn't matter who we're playing against in the FA Cup. When the second round is completed, you are playing a third round match on the weekend of the first weekend of January. So when the fixture list is produced, in January you are playing a game either on the Friday, the Saturday, the Sunday or the Monday. You're playing a game over the first weekend in January. So his squad rotation's been poor, his selection's been poor. Arsenal were aware of this. Forest would have been aware of this as well, because this, for them, both teams at the League Cup, for them, they would have both sets of teams would have known that this fixture was on the list, and they would have known who they were playing after the FA Cup draw was made at the end of the last round, and they were drawn out the hat. So for about a month, both sides have known who they're playing. They know that the festive period, and we're still coming out the other end of that, was all about. There is congestion there. Squad rotation is vital. Loan signings maybe, or short term, in 1st January, get that short-term 6-month signing, bit of squad depth. Arsenal haven't done that yet, because they're going after the big money moves that never happen. The fact that Ozil and Sanchez were missing as well, I understand, yes, the squad, but the way the squad's been managed over this festive period by Arsenal has been a disaster, clearly. Their best chance of silverware is gone, and first time in 22 years Arsenal have gone out the third round. They always progress. So Wenger is, I think, this is the death. This is the beginning of the end for Wenger at Arsenal. Their best chance of silverware's gone. Yes, they're still in the Europa League. We have to see how they do in that competition. If they take it lightly, then, as they've done here, then they get punished. what has happened here has been nothing short of a disaster. The Premier League this weekend, a couple of teams have been held to draws in Bournemouth, Leicester and West Ham. West Ham's performance today was also equally as poor. I've done a video on that. Chelsea were held yesterday by Norwich. So some clubs have not respected the competition correctly, and they have been punished. Leicester do have injuries, mind. So Leicester, I can put down their injuries and again their fixture congestion. Arsenal, I have no sympathy for the Arsenal team. I have sympathy for the fans who've travelled all the way to Nottingham and gone up the M1. I have sympathy for the fans who've travelled today, but Arsene Wenger, his selection policy and their transfer policy is questionable at Arsenal, and it has been for quite some time. I'm going to leave that as that. Arsenal are out. I think the Premier League has taken a battering this weekend. A couple of Premier League sides, I think about 4 of them have got replays now, which is tricky. And all the managers constantly complain about fixture congestion. Well, if you respect this competition, you don't have to play a replay next week or the week after. So those Premiership managers who've not taken this competition as serious as they should are now being punished. Arsenal were 3-1 down at one point, and then they got 3-2. Nottingham Forest play gets sent off, and then Nottingham Forest score. So I don't quite understand how they can lose to 10 men. They should have been going, right, we're after them now, we'll get after them. I don't know the start. I haven't seen the starting lineups, but I know they had very limited experience on the pitch. So leadership is an issue, squad depth is an issue. So I'm going to leave that there. If you're an Arsenal fan, you're going to be frustrated and you're going to be angry, and I'm going to expect a mixed reaction from this. But I think this is a watershed moment for Arsenal. I think Wenger not back next season. He may be lucky to finish the season as manager. He might go before then. It depends on how their European and league form goes. If their league form dips and the European and they get knocked out of Europe, then trouble. Yes, the club have been loyal to him and he's been loyal to the club, but there needs to be a change now. There really needs to be change from top to bottom at that club. They've been stable and consistent for many years, but stable and consistent doesn't win you league titles, and they haven't won a league title for over a decade. They haven't been close to winning the league for a long time. Yes, they won a couple of FA Cups. Yes, they've been in a lot of other finals and come close, but that's just not good enough. They lost the League Cup final to Birmingham City. They've won 3 FA Cup finals. I'll give them that. In the last few years, they have dominated this competition, but now their best chance is always gone. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Place your comments below. I'll have some more videos for you tomorrow. I've got to get up early for the morning for work. I've got to get this uploaded, and my internet's being painful at the moment, so it may take even longer to get up online. And I'll have some more videos for you tomorrow.